Welcome to Between Frames, a podcast dedicated to dance photography and creation.
So this is going to be like a chat. I wrote some photography questions, but of
Please.
course, I mean, we can exchange also experiences. And
Of
thank you so
course.
much for being
It's a
here.
pleasure. It's really a pleasure.
Well, I want to start asking about how ballet found you. And because you were a ballet dancer, you danced as a soloist, right? With
Yeah.
Staatsballett Ballet for 20
Yeah.
years. And how did dance find its way to you? What were your first contact with it?
Oh, I think like any other girl, you go to a little ballet school and it was my parents. My father liked the anecdote that he used to say, you were always so good at everything. I wanted to find something where you really had to work. And
Yes.
I don't quite believe this. I think it was just he liked me being in pink and dancing. And he was an artist. So
Oh, that's nice.
we grew up in theater and art. And so it was a natural way of putting a little girl to ballet class. There wasn't any finding or any, it was just a little, ballet. Oh dear, the cat is going
I
crazy.
love
Sorry.
cats. That's
I
okay.
think, yeah.
So your dad was an artist.
Yes.
What did he do?
He's a painter. He was
Oh,
a
that's
painter. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. I grew up with painting and art. My mother's a writer. So it was always, my mother's German and my father's American, and they both, it was hippie time. We have to not forget it was just Franco died in Spain 73, and I was born 73 in Mallorca. So it was not a touristic place. It was really a place for artists, basically, poor people.
Wow, I
That's
see. How old were you when you started dancing?
Well, that's the thing. Like even with my daughter, who's now also dancing, I wouldn't say the ballet, children ballet at 4 years old, you start dancing. I would say dancing starts when you start getting a bit serious and you start acknowledging that there's actually work to be done into it and a passion grows. And I would say my passion started with 9, 10 years old
Okay,
when it started to become my life. Like you
I
can't
see.
breathe, you can't think about anything else but ballet. So
Yeah,
I would say more to 10, I would say.
you have a
Yes, sir.
mixed culture in your family, so you have lots of
Yes.
references. Did that help you in a way, artistically speaking?
I don't know. It would be pretentious to say yes, but of course, seeing the world and seeing museums, and as a very young age being introduced to art, I suppose it does um, make a child grow in a different way than somebody who hasn't. But I can't say. I really can't say. I suppose, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes now coming to photography, sometimes I'm told like, yeah, it's like a painting or something, but
Mhm.
it just, yeah, I grew up with painting. So yes, I learned what was the golden cut and everything when I was very young.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes the museum was the only warm place to be. So
I
we would
see.
be there because we moved to Berlin when like completely. I was in Berlin since I was 8 because my parents divorced. So it
Hmm.
was, yeah. So we were surrounded by culture and yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that today, especially today with social media and lots of, noise and information, when I go to a museum, it's like a temple. It's so
Yes.
quiet and it's like my happy place, my happy shell. I feel like that too. In Moments with Marianela, you speak a little bit about your transition from dancer to photography. Could you share a little bit of that process? I can imagine it wasn't easy. It never is for a dancer. And why
Um,
photography?
yeah. No, I can't say it was a difficult transition. It came all very different than you would think. there was no way for me to think that I would be a photographer, or I wasn't really even interested in photography. Let's start there. I was starting to become a ballet teacher.
Oh.
And I did my schooling, Vaganova style, for 2 years, like really studying to become a ballet teacher. And since I was the older dancer in the company, I took a soloist or something younger and would train her. And that's what in companies happens naturally. It's a very fluid thing. So it was quite clear to me that I would stay in the ballet world as a ballet teacher, which I like. I like to give my knowledge and stuff. So photography really came to me as a savior. It was not at all a difficult transition because it was never in my books. It was, I think I had a very hard performance coming up, and I was always very stressed to dance. I was very nervous, and in the years I got more and more unsure to go on stage. It's a very weird thing. And I remember just laying there on the side of the stage and preparing for the performance. And there was this surreal atmosphere of the workers on the stage working and the noises they make. It's very blunt and very, very real. But then also the decoration of a surreal fairyland. And usually the Iron Curtain is open before the performance, so you see the audience empty, and you're at the height of the side stage. And I just thought, oh, I'm going to miss this. This is what I'm going to miss. So I'm going to take some pictures of this. Yeah. So it all came fluidly together that I just wanted for myself to have a memory of something that I loved. And my father had many friends and also photographers, and there was a photographer experimental photographer, who said, oh, well, yeah, I can teach you some things. And then I got a good camera, not the best, but I got a kind of good camera, and he just kind of taught me a little bit how to use it, but I'm not interested in technical stuff, so I just took it and did. And in the evening I looked at the pictures, and of course it was terrible, and there was nothing what I wanted. So my grasp to photography, or the wanting to learn about photography, was also to capture what I would miss. So I had to learn a lot very fast. And
that is so beautiful. I can relate a lot, because the main thing for me in photography is to capture things that are important to me, and is a way of communicating what matters to me. It's like a medium. And I always struggled with technique as well. I learned the technique so I could work, because I hate this part, but we have to understand it. Yes, so I can relate a lot. And this connects, I think, to my next question, because I do think we connect a lot as artists and as photographers. Your photography has always been a big inspiration to me, truly, because I really looked up to your pictures and this kind of painting vibes, because I also like that. And I think it carries so much sensitivity and emotions. And how would you describe your work? Have you ever been asked that?
No, I haven't. I'm still surprised. I have to say, I'm still surprised that I'm a photographer. Now I present myself as a photographer, and it still feels like a kind of weird, like saying like, oh, hello, I'm a photographer. I'm a surprised photographer, I would say. That this, I don't know, sometimes when dancers get worried, and the dancer's career is so short, and they get very worried at a certain age, what will I do? And one thing I can tell them with open heart is that you will not know until it happens. It will come to you. You don't have to worry. So how to describe my photography? There's many different, as you know, you have different ways of photography. You have to please a client. You have to work to earn money. And you have some little, now it's slightly getting smaller and smaller, the space of being creative and doing my thing. And the more you need to earn money, or the more you get a name in a certain way, the space of your private little projects gets smaller. So I wouldn't compare every photography in the same way. For example, just to tell you, like Shakot for Japan has a certain style, and I do follow it because I know this is what they want. They ask for it. I try to have of course, my little touch in it, or my best will, but I try to please the customer also.
Yes.
Then there's just frankly, we want a colored photo of arabesque, whatever, which I'm not so interested in, but companies want that. They want the physical, or just the poses, like what you would call poses. I like the between steps and all that, and dancers like that usually, but the companies sometimes they don't relate so much because it's many other people who have not so much to do with ballet who decide things.
Yes,
So
and
you are often,
for brands it's very hard, right? I
yes,
mean,
you also do for
for só
dancer, no?
dança, yeah, I
Yeah,
photograph for só dança sometimes, and I photograph for Grishko, and it's so commercial, so commercial.
it is very different.
You have to adapt, and
Exactly.
I still think that me and you we can put a little bit of our style there, but we have to adapt.
Yes.
But if you could do only your artistic photography, how would you describe
Yes.
it?
What would I choose?
Yeah, what would you choose?
Okay. I'm very much of an observer and waiter. I'm not very good at directing people. I like to just sit back and wait.
Mhm.
I think I'm a very patient photographer. I like to wait for something which touches me deeply. And thankfully, you and I know our cameras are able to capture very fast.
Yes.
You just have to be pressing the button. But yeah, once you have the control over this mechanical tool, which you have to trust in a weird way, and I don't know how you feel about it, but for me, often I just am guessing. Like, I'm not sure, did I get it or not? Because you also don't have time to check.
It's
So
very
sometimes
quick.
people, I'm sure it happens. Yes. And now, since the sound is gone from my camera, for example, now
Yes.
it's mirrorless,
Mine too.
I'm missing the rhythm of photographing.
Yes.
Do you also feel that I'm missing this rhythm?
It's so weird. I mean,
Yes,
you adapt eventually, and
of
I'm
course.
getting used to it, to know sound. But for example, I'm going to do a creative photo shoot next week, and I put the sound back because it's a portrait session, and I thought the dancer will want to hear the click as well when it's a portrait session, because the dancer works with that too. So I'm finding my
Exactly.
way out in this new
Yeah.
no sound thing. But of course, inside a theater is better with no sound. But I'm trying to, because I think the click reminds you that you were there and that you were working. Because I don't know, sometimes you get a little bit distracted when there is no, I don't know if you're getting what I mean. No anything,
I
reminding.
understand it
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
I agree completely. For me, even the sound gives a kind of, um, yeah, also a kind of control over what I'm doing.
Yes,
Because right
exactly.
now I'm just guessing, like, did it happen or not? I don't know. I don't have time to check. So I will check at home. And then
Yes.
you open the computer and that's when you see what you did. But yeah,
Yes.
so that is very weird right now.
It's very
It's a
weird.
very different way of photography, and
Yes.
yeah, I understand. Of course, it's easier for the public not to be disturbed and all
Yes,
that. So.
because if you think about it, the click is something like ancient in photography. So I think for the first time we're not hearing it, so it's really weird. Like it's like removing like a vital thing in photography.
I
So
think it comes also a little bit from social media and from, like, I would say I'm a very lucky photographer also. I got into photography in a time when social media was not yet a thing. So photography itself was regarded as a good and a respectful job. So right now, with everyone being a photographer and iPhones taking marvelous pictures, sometimes
Yeah.
even in group photos, I'm like, oh my God, I think I prefer using my iPhone right now
Exactly.
for a group photo
For a
because
group photo.
it's just more efficient. But so there's this different attitude to photography. It has to be fast a lot, and it has to be kind of very clean and high pixeled and all that. So this analog or even just openness to a movement in photography is nearly lost for other people. For me, not. I like to see, I don't care about the graininess of a photo of
Yeah.
if it's out of focus. I want to see something. So yeah,
Yes.
but that's not what people want to see. They want to have Instagram, or I don't know, other things which have to be fast and every day and more and more. And that's a very different way of working. So yeah, you adapt, but
You adapt,
it
yes.
doesn't interest me.
Yeah, but we need to keep
Yeah.
doing our artistic work. That's why I keep on doing it. Many times from my own money and my own means, I go and I create something, not to lose that, especially with artificial intelligence and everything is so pitch perfect. And I want to see the grain. I don't mind at all, we call it
The
ISO. The ISO,
like
yeah.
ISO, like
Yes.
ISO, like how high it is. And
I don't care. I mean, especially if it is an artistic or a stage photography, because it's something that it's also part of the stage photography identity for years.
it's very difficult though, because we
Yes.
also have to earn money. You know,
Yes.
you have to live off it in a weird way. This is, I think, what people don't understand, that it's very hard to live off photography now, because everybody is a photographer, and you know that very well too. Even if you have a good name and even if you have good companies paying you, it's still a struggle. It's not like it doesn't matter how good you are or bad. It will be a struggle, you know. So you have to open up to certain ways and to please people. But yeah, that's why I'm also calling myself very lucky, because I don't completely depend on my income, you know. So I have this freedom a little bit to yeah.
Yes. We do side projects and side jobs as well. I believe many photographers
Yes,
end
we
up
have
doing
to.
that. Yes.
Yeah, little ballet school here, it's normal. We have to earn our living.
Yes.
But I do have to say, the little projects and the less commercial ones are usually the ones where I try to find my own way.
Yes.
And because they are so excited just to have me there, or probably you too, that they are just wanting something, and it's already, the attitude is so positive to it that it's just a joy.
Yes, it's the
Once you go into
best way of working.
Yes, I have to say it's not true entirely for me, because I do have a relationship with Marianela, and she's one of the ones who lets me, like, trusts me 1,000%. So there's a very beautiful way for me to cover my own necessity to discover things, and there's a lot to photograph with her. Like, she has so much. She's not really interested, I think, in arabesque or her perfect lines. She wants to see what I see in her. That's the thing.
The in-between
Yeah,
steps
we
and
are
the
not
emotion.
reporters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are not reporters.
Yeah, and sometimes I think young dancers especially, they think, but I don't look like that, or should I look like that, or I don't want to look like that. And I'm thinking, like, yeah, but I'm not in a war field, you know. I'm not reporting as a journalist. I'm telling a story.
Exactly.
I'm telling what I see, and I'm trying to see the beauty in it. So yeah, so
You're
you have to kind of,
storytellers.
yeah, a little bit like that. But it's hard because they want, yeah, I don't know, Capriol
Yes.
or Arabesque, they want to have it proper. I say, yeah, I mean, I also manage to do it proper sometimes, but sometimes you don't, and there's something much more interesting. But young dancers especially, they want constant approval of what they're doing. It's a modern thing. I have to accept it. I last week very big maître de ballet, Patrice Bard, he was in a funeral, and I was looking through photos which I have from my career, and it's a handful. I have nothing, and I'm sad about it because now I see the dancers have 200 per day. But I wonder, my photos, I value them so much, and they were analog photography, so it was not even a question to have more than one from a spectacle, if you were not the principal. So yeah, now they want 100 photos the next morning.
Yes.
It's like this.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
it is.
You go home after a performance, and the next morning they say, can you send us the pictures? And you don't even have time to look at the pictures. It's just, you have to accept it, have no ego, just say, okay, this is how it's a job now, and I do it. That's
exactly.
Yeah, I understand.
And what advice would you give to young aspiring dance photographers?
Oh, I think all of you are much more advanced than me. I don't have any advice except follow your heart, maybe. And, I think young photographers, I'm also looking sometimes, and I get inspired also because I'm like, wow, what can they do? I think I would say there's place enough for many. Like there's this undergoing feeling that if that person gets the job, then I don't have it. I think there's enough place for many different views on this. I don't know.
That's interesting.
I wouldn't know. Yeah. I don't mind working with people. I don't mind sharing my knowledge.
Yes, I truly believe in that too. I mean, I think even if it's hard for everybody, I choose to believe in that, in collaboration, in there's space for everyone, because if it's not like that, life sucks,
Exactly.
So we need to believe that, and we need to work towards that.
Yes. My experience in certain fields might help you because you haven't, but maybe one day I don't know about the modern stuff and I will ask you. It doesn't hurt you and it doesn't hurt me to exchange a certain knowledge. It's just a knowledge exchange about. It doesn't change your photography or mine, It's still our view, like our minds. I think people forget that photography is a very personal thing. For me, at least, it's a very deeply personal thing, and to be judged, and you're constantly judged, and the matter of taste of other people matter suddenly, and you're like, so maybe that's why I'm not so much on social media, not doing it, because I get so stressed from it. Thankfully I don't need it. That's the other part, I don't need it because I already have my base, and somehow people appreciate my work, so it's good. I'm very lucky. And how are you settling in Portugal and everything?
Well, I'm good. I'm finishing my master degree, so I have my defense. I'm studying design and visual culture, and I'm doing my defense on the 29th. So this month, I'm doing my thesis defense. Yes.
Fantastic. Is that just for pure interest or to actually build a business? Because we can say what we want about photography, but in the end, the business part is so tiring, I find. Like, I don't know, it exhausts me, just the paperwork and
it's very exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it is important.
People think that I really love being online because I am so much, not only with my photography business, but also with my adult ballerina account. And I said, it's not that I love to communicate. I love to share. I love to, the encounters, but I hate the part of, you have to be there, you have to create, you have to be online. I don't really love that, but I have to be there.
It's very time consuming. People forget that that's a lot of work.
It is, and it's not good
Yeah.
for the mind, actually. You need to do your therapy and to stop and to take a vacation and to go offline. You really have to, because it's
Yeah.
really tiring. But I need to be there, and I think as a designer and as a creative director, because I have other skills, it helps me, but it tires me the same. No.
I believe. Yeah, you seem very active
Yes.
in new things, like new projects. I'm always like, wow.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
maybe
refuse not to be active artistically, because
you have to.
otherwise, yes, I'll be doing only commercial stuff, and I really need to keep on creating.
It's hard, isn't it?
It
How did
is.
you get into photography
Well,
or ballet photography?
I mean, I am a 90s kid, so I got the film home camera that my mom had, and I always like to play with my friends, like, let's pretend we have a magazine, let's do an editorial. And I always were like a designer and a photographer. And started photographing because I wanted to be a fashion photographer, because I have a fashion degree. And
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I study it, but the market, it's so harsh on women, and especially in Brazil, for
Mm.
fashion photography. And when I started to see that I had to be at the right parties with the right people, and I'm not that
No, no.
person. So I started photographing weddings. Photography was always like a side job. I had other things going on as well. So I was, when I was 21 and I started dancing ballet, I started photographing inside my own school, and I fell in love with movement, with, capturing dance. So I started studying while I was doing it, the dance photography.
It's difficult, huh? Yeah, the advice I can give is try to get companies as a freelancer to pay you to do
Yes.
spectacle. I like that, actually. I remember in the beginning when I was traveling, but when I was still free from family life, to take my time to travel to a company, do one production, and go to the next. And that was amazing, because there you also have a lot of freedom.
Yes,
Like, I don't know
I was
what.
lucky. I was lucky because in Rio we had a big theater, and Teatro Municipal. And my advice is, start with the dancers first, and then you get the attention of companies, because if you start with dancers, they will be so grateful for your work, and they are artists too, so they want to collaborate. And then you start getting into the companies, and then the directors know you because the dancers already loves you. And then it was like that with me. And then I started building
Okay.
a good portfolio, because the dancers wanted me there. So they said,
Mm.
oh, for the next show, we want Carol here. The dancers brought me there.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
because in Brazil they have the difficulty of budget and stuff. So the dancers, many times, they took me in, and then I got the direction attention, and I started working for the direction.
Obviously, the brand photography is the one where there's the money and things.
Yes.
And yeah, sadly. But it's also a pleasure because I've been very spoiled. I'm very aware of younger photographers who have to go a much harsher way than me. I was spoiled from first second. I had some of the best dancers in front of my lens immediately, and they were my colleagues,
Yes.
so it
Yeah.
wasn't, yeah.
But you were inside this world. I mean, it was your world at the same
Yeah,
time. Like, so if it's not your world, you have to try to put yourself into it. And that's,
yeah, yeah, you're completely right.
yeah,
It's funny that I had to go back to the moment of the change. I think the hardest moment for any dancer is the moment to realize that a performance or a company, or because it's such a bubble and you are such a family, that this performance will work very well without you. This is what it sounds silly, but if a dancer doesn't feel that they are necessity for a performance, it's very hard to go on stage and work hard. You have to be a necessity. You have to be needed to improve something in this company as a dancer. because it's a very hard job. And I had to learn, or I learned through my lens, that there was a lot of beauty without me being on stage. That's how I found my complete peace with leaving the ballet world from the stage, that it was okay without me. It sounds ridiculous, but there's this thing of a dancer needing to, and we all know as a dancer, you were replaced in seconds when you were injured, you know, it's not as if you were really needed. But there's this every day getting up and doing your bar and working and doing the rehearsals and going on stage. You need to feel that without you, it wouldn't be as good. You know, it's just you have to feel needed. And then, so that's how I transitioned easily, seeing amazing performances, and I was not near the stage, you know, I was very far away. So it's not about the reality of it. Of course, we are not the necessity for a company, but you have this feeling in a ballet company that you're important. We were not that many people in Staatsballett. Well, we were actually, but 90 people. But now, comparing to opera, it's not very many. So even before, when we were only 60 people, the soloist group was very small. We were only 4 or 5 girls of like soloist, and then there was étoiles, which was like also 4 or 5. So often you would have to dance solos, and the next day you dance the principal roles or whatever. So it was a constant working. And you had this feeling of a family, like you are important. There is a dynamic in a company. Every person has their position, and it's important that they have this position and they're proud of it. When you are younger as a dancer, sometimes you get jealous because somebody dances something and you would prefer to dance it, and it would be better if you would dance it. Surely not, but you have this feeling. And so taking this camera in my hand and watching a performance through a lens, which goes very close. We are much closer to the dancers than they even know.
Yes.
It's a very personal thing, actually. It becomes very personal. Dancers think we are just recording them, but we are not. We are going into their souls nearly, I feel sometimes.
Exactly.
I don't know if you have had the experience of having a dancer who is so open to you that it's nearly frightening. Like I've had this sometimes, that I'm like, okay, this is a lot of trust here. Like,
yes. It's like a surrender.
Shocking.
Yes.
Yeah, complete. And I've had this a couple of times in my life where I'm like taken aback, even like, how far can I get into this person without getting too private? But of course, on the picture, it doesn't look like that because it's just an image. But the feeling is so important when you photograph. Like, it's not only the picture, it's something very intimate and very deep. I love watching, like, for example, there's the little scene in, Giselle very well, I suppose. So there's in the waltz, there's the little moment when she faints a little bit. Just this little bit is one of my favorite moments, actually, of the first act, because it's the music and everything, and everyone in the back is so happy dancing, and she's also happily dancing, and then suddenly she faints a little bit, and he gets very worried, and she sits down, and then they continue. And this moment, I really zoom in, and I'm waiting every performance for every ballerina to give me this moment, which makes me feel like, oh no, this is really bad. And I know it's really bad, and I know what's coming, but I want to be surprised by this moment. And they don't know that we are so searching for these moments.
We have this privilege with the closeness, and every dancer will do in a different way because it depends of her own experience.
Exactly.
And you are assessing that, really close. One of the most emotional ballets that I cry photograph in the wings was Giselle. I mean, back in Rio, the first time I ever photographed Giselle from the wings, when the wheelies come crossing that famous passage, And I said, oh my God, what is that? I mean, it looks like they're pulling me. It looks like a ritual. I don't know what I'm feeling, but I can't stop
Yeah, yeah.
shooting. It's amazing to have the privilege to be there, and
Yes, and then it's also, uh, of course, like for example, this scene which I had explained to you before. In the back, there's the corps de ballet. Now they're doing rhythmically other step, développé à la seconde waltz. So you have to, now I have learned, and you know this, you have to so much respect what is going behind, because the corps de ballet, they have a different rhythm than the principals. So you have to really take care that the corps de ballet doesn't look silly, or you don't break their they're working so hard, and of course they can be in a weird step between. So yeah, I really take care that sometimes I even looking at the corps de ballet and zooming into the principal. It's a weird thing, just to wait for the corps de ballet to have a right moment so the principal can shine completely. Like photography is I don't know, do you film also or not?
When I am editing, I look at that a lot. I mean, it's a good picture of the principal, but there's a girl behind it that she's not good. And I said, oh, I will try to choose another, because the principal will have many pictures, and this girl
Exactly.
doesn't deserve that,
Yes,
because it was another.
yeah.
I tried
I think that's the most important, to respect everyone who is on the picture. And that's the fault I see sometimes in younger or in very ambitious photographers who do amazing photos of the principal, but in the background, they hurt the corps de ballet, actually, and they don't deserve, like you say, they don't deserve that. They deserve the respect, the same respect as the principal in the front.
Yeah, especially in ballets like Giselle or Swan Lake, the corps de ballet is such an important, it's a one thing, it's a character too. So you need to respect it as it is.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
it.
exactly the same. It's very, I feel very honored and very lucky. I would say I'm a very lucky photographer. It's because I'm regarded.
But I was
like.
talking to Cecilia Kershi these days in a class that she did for another project, and she said, when you have talent, that's when you have to work even harder, for many reasons, because people will think you're privileged, or because you will be more seen, and to to honor your own talent and craft. So yes, we are lucky in different ways, but we are also working.
I understand. No, we work very hard.
We work very hard, and we are respecting what we do, and we are always trying to make the best of it, so.
Yes. No, being lucky doesn't mean that we are not exhausted,
Exactly. I think in the end, it's a matter of choosing and understanding what you can prioritize to make your art.
Absolutely. And sometimes also, like you say, take a big step back.
Yes.
And realize, like, this should stay a passion also, not only a work.
Not to lose that.
Yes, just to also sometimes, I can say I took a big step back, obviously, when I was pregnant and I got Anna, and I just didn't have time for nothing. And there's many things which happen in life which don't hurt if it's not about photography. They will ingrain you with other emotions, with other things. I've been a little bit lost sometimes. No, it was 1 year ago. I was thinking a lot. I thought, I want to do something different. I want to do something which excites me, not just this routine nearly. And so I'm trying to figure out how I can find the innocence of photography again. Because I'm looking at my old pictures where I was very innocently photographing, just on the base of, oh, I'm just happy to be here, I'm doing it. And the photography is very innocent, but there's a very big beauty in it, because I didn't know really what I was doing. So I'm trying to find that again in a different setting. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with it, but I will have to, because I need to find a thing of growing. Yeah. Right now it's
amazing, because I'm feeling the same. I'm feeling like I need to, to reach out to the artist and to that girl that, was inside a big theater for the first time.
Yeah, something like this.
Yes.
I'm very lucky, of course, if once you have a certain stamp on you, like Opéra de Paris or something, a lot of doors open. Huh? I don't want to diminish the fact that there's huge companies working with me, asking me to work for them.
Yeah.
So they open incredible doors. And right now, by chance, I've been lucky enough to photograph two artists which have nothing to do with ballet, but they're sponsored by the opera and all that, and there's like a reportage on them. And that has been very freeing to watch artists that is sculptured and a costume designer. And it has been very nice to go into a different field with a person and discovering them and getting very personal with them. So I'm lucky that I'm paid well by companies who, but you have to, as you will find your way of finding something else, a story. I remember at some point I wanted to go and photograph newborns in hospitals. When I was missing that my child was growing up too fast, I thought, how do I get back the smell of a newborn? I will go to hospitals and just photograph newborns for free. All kinds of things come to mind, of course. You have all these ideas constantly.
Thank you very much for talking
Thank
to
you
me.
very much.
It was a big pleasure. You inspired me a lot. And thank you for always being so nice to me on social media. Not everybody is.
Yeah, that is a thing. There will be a lot of jealousy on your way, and you just have to. Somebody once said, I don't know who, or I heard it, that if something irritates you on social media in the slightest, just put them away from your life. It helps, just you don't need jealous people, you don't need bad comments, you don't need, just you are you, and if somebody doesn't like, gone immediately. Don't discuss with people who don't know you. And there will be a lot of jealousy across your way. It's like this. But you will also meet incredible people. Like, I've never met so humble and lovely artists in my life. Like Marianela, Marianela, you also photographed her.
Yes.
And it's like friendships happen. You have other ballerinas who you are very close with. So you develop some intimacy, which is very special, which nobody else understands, actually. It's
really precious.
So just do your thing.
I hope to meet you soon.
We will have a nice cafe in Paris. Paris is always a good idea. You're very welcome. And see you soon.
See you soon.
Bisous.
Bisous.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.